such as costuming, illustrations, and more. Come visit us at magicalfantasy.com.
Hey everyone! Want to know how you can help Let's Talk About the Music stay on the air and earn some VIP privileges at the same time? Go to patreon.com/LTATM radio to find out how you can get involved. That's patreon.com. Let's talk about the music.
Tired in the morning?
Then wake up with coffee and a midday music break. Mondays and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., we'll have trivia, news, horoscopes, weather, and This Day in Music. You can even request a song when you stop into the chat room when you follow the show. And follow the show at letstalkaboutthemusic.com.
One of the things we love about Let's Talk About the Music is having such fantastic performers and bands on the show and getting to know them, reading about who they are, where they come from, and what got them to where they are today. This New York-based band is like no other. Great music, awesome bandmates that come together to make Unified Past. Join us on Let's Talk About the Music September 28th at 8 p.m. to find out more about this amazing group, Unified Past.
All right, let's talk about the music. Welcome back. I'm Shels in Tacoma. And you guys can Google that if you want to.
If you want to.
If you want to. You can let this one go and slide up there, really. And then this is Spider. I'm in Ohio.
I suppose it is.
Yes.
I didn't have to check that time.
No, you didn't. It's right on. And the reason why we are Humorist Controversial Talk Show, because one, I myself is a performer. A little bit more, little tidbit on our music, our career in a way. I am a performer known as the Pixie. And he is a musician known as Spider in the Hall. So we kind of make this show into a big, huge entertainment. That's what I call it, I think.
It's just a whole bunch of random bleh kind of stuff. And if you don't know what bleh is, then you're missing out, because bleh is my new trademarked word of everything.
And we do have a drinking game. It's called every time myself, I say Google it. There you go, drink sweets. And then also, Spider says, talks about 9 Inch Nails, you gotta drink something. And it could be anything. So that's our personal drinking game. We made this out a few episodes ago. I don't know when. I don't remember. But there you go.
Well, it's just a little bit of interaction and just something fun to do. Because, who doesn't like a good drinking game?
This is true.
Well, I mean, maybe Mormons. But I don't know. There you go. There's some homework for everybody. Do Mormons drink, and how much? And how do they feel about it? It has nothing to do with music at all, but that's your homework.
Mm-hmm. And we talk about the music. Normally we have bands come in, but we had a few bands. We had a band that canceled on us, so we're just taking this show on the road and going with it. And we hope you're entertained. I hope you're having a great time. Amish. Sweetie says Amish. We hope you guys have a great time on this different kind of program, going a different direction. Because every now and then, if we don't have bands lined up, we'll just be in Spider having a conversation about music, basically. And tonight,
mostly music. I mean, sometimes we get into, I don't know, we get into some weird stuff.
We do. We play weird music. So, which is great, because that's what we want to do, play weird music. From independent musicians across the world. T-Mot. And this topic is show canceled. And we're in a few moments we're going to talk about Corey Feldman's music video debut. Yeah. Anyway, so and before the break, Spider said he wanted to talk more about this before he gets into the state music.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, I actually do have a kind of a personal story where a show wasn't canceled, but maybe it should have been, and it kind of ended up half canceled.
It's either my headphones or you're kind of breaking up. You sound like a robot. What was that?
That's what happens sometimes on my end with Skype. So that's a Skype thing.
Okay, you're good now. I can hear you now.
But before I moved out to where I am now, this has been probably at least 8.5 years, maybe. Probably, yeah, give or take. I worked with 2 bands, of course. I'm fond of talking about my one metal band, but I was also a vocalist in another metal band at the same time. And we kind of had a lot of push and pull in that band because we were all a lot of strong personalities, and we all had definite ideas on how music should have been, like what music we wanted to do, and that kind of thing. So we kind of had a lot of push and pull with our opinions and things like that, but we had some problems with our drummer at the time. He wasn't a bad guy, and sometimes you just, different people are different people, but he wasn't, I don't have any problems against the dude at all. But he liked to smoke a lot, and not like tobacco smoke. He just really liked his weed, which was fine. I've got nothing against that. Everybody out there, that's cool. You do you, But he would really smoke to the point, like before practices and things, where it interfered with his playing. Sometimes he'd be perfectly on point, and other times he would just be like, "What are you doing, dude?" So this was probably one of our last shows, probably our second to last show while I was in the band. They kept up a little bit after I left, but one of our last shows while I was in the band, he didn't show up, and we were like, "Where is he? Where is he? Where is he?" We were set to go on pretty much any minute. We were like freaking out, and somebody finally got a hold of him, and he'd forgotten that we had a show. He just straight forgot that we had a show. So we're just like, "Oh great, what do we do now?" And we're all like trying to play. We've been hyping this up. We're a new band, and we've been gaining some steam. We were starting to get a following, and we didn't know what to do. We didn't want to just drop off, but we were like, we're going to have to. And what we ended up doing is trying to play a few songs with the drummer from my other band, because he was a really talented drummer, but he didn't know our songs well enough. I mean, how could he? He was busy practicing songs for his own band. So we ended up playing a couple songs pretty badly, and then just calling it a night and letting the next band take the stage. And it was a really kind of letdown moment, both for us and for people who went to see us. And we had a lot of comments from people that were just like, "Why'd you guys even try to do that? I mean, you shouldn't have even been up there if you were not going to be able to do it." And we're like, well, because we still wanted to play for people, and we still wanted to play in general. And so to this day, I don't really know if it would have been better if we would have just called the show or what. But yeah, I mean, sometimes things will happen right on the spur of the moment that you don't expect, and you kind of have to deal with them right then and there. And the only real good option is to cancel everything, because otherwise you put on a bad experience. And do people want to watch you just in general, or do they want to watch you and be assured that they're going to be getting their money's worth? So,
Yeah.
it's another thing to consider. I mean, if your band can play just in a lower capacity than otherwise, simply by circumstances, would you still want them to play? And some bands probably could still pull it off. Dave Grohl, of course, very famously recently, so I don't remember exactly what happened, but he busted his leg during a tour, and he spent the rest of the tour on stage in a chair. He played that show, actually, when he busted his leg. He fell off the stage or something. Something happened, and he played the rest of the show. The EMT came out, set his leg on stage, and he finished the show. And then he finished the tour sitting in a chair, because he's like, you know what? I'm a musician. This is what I do. They canceled maybe 1 or 2 shows just to get it properly set because, at that point it was just an emergency set. But other than that, they didn't cancel any other shows. They kept on rolling. And I'm not saying every single musician who has something like that happen should do that, because he obviously knew his own limits and things like that, but maybe it'd be really bad health-wise for some people to do that. But that's the epitome of somebody who takes their job very seriously and who was not willing to let down even just a single fan.
Mm-hmm.
And that's some dedication right there. So again, if something does happen to the band, do you want them to keep playing? Is it going to be a Dave Grohl experience, or is it going to be a drummer got high and forgot experience? So, it could go either way. I would prefer it would have been like a David Grohl experience, but, we did what we could. So, yeah, just something to think about.
And just as Sweet says, the show must go on. And you keep that in your mind, and you go on regardless. Like, for example, Maximus. I don't know how they did it, but they were able to finish the tour with their scooting by from the van. They did it. And I'm proud of those guys, especially this was Sean's very first tour with these guys. And so it's awesome that they did it. They pulled together and they did it, and I can't even be more prouder. I mean, they're professional. They get on and they keep going regardless of the issue. They just keep going. And so it's pretty awesome. And then
I actually have a special shout out for Maximus too, because and it's an example of it being such a really small world. Maximus is going to be playing this Friday with a band called The Shaded. The Shaded has a drummer, and if you're at all listening, or if this gets back to you, hey Joe, how's it going?
Cool. I want their
Joe
music.
Cordell. I went to high school with that dude right there.
Nice.
In Pennsylvania. So it's kind of an interesting, small world kind of moment, how a band that I met through this radio show, I'm in Ohio and they're from farther down south, and they're now playing a show with a band that features somebody that I knew from school, and who's a very talented drummer in his own right too. So and he likes to have fun, they like to have fun. It's going to be a good show, I can bet.
You should try to go.
Well, it's still a bit of a ways from here. It's farther down south, and there's just no way I'd be able to get there and back in the time allotted. But still, I wish everybody well. Hope they all get along, buy each other some drinks, have a good time, and hi guys, it's me, it's Spider. Just saying hi, dropping some names. I'm famous. Hi.
Yes, Spider, you're making all our other bands famous. So
That's right.
If you're coming on the show, you're famous. We're playing your music, you are famous. If we talk about you and we still don't know you, you're famous.
Yeah.
So anybody from independent musicians, if you're indie band, you want to bring their music on board, you can do it by going to letstalkaboutthemusic.com, or if that's too long for you to type, you can put in LTATMradio.com. Same webpage, just shorter. And you can submit your music. It's right there on the top banner, right by Follow the Show. Ha! So, made it easier for you guys. I'm all excited. So, that's it. So, anything else? Anyone want to talk about more about show canceling? You guys know, don't do it! Because it's bad for your image. I mean, that's how I look. It's bad for your image.
Yeah, I mean, if you can do the show and there's a possibility that you're able to do it, just think, is it going to be a decent enough show for my fans? Is somebody out there going to enjoy it? Then sure, let's do it.
Right.
That'd be what I would do.
Right. I mean, we had one band who emailed me 2 weeks in advance, and we were able to find 2 bands back to back, international, one in Australia and Germany, to come on the show. One was King George, and the one was Zerp. So they came in and filled that.